Yo, what's going on, guys? Introduce Shredder here, back. We got our dude, Vince, Campana.
Hello.
Got top 4. You're looking at me. Look at the camera.
Oh.
Alright, so we got top 4.
At the case tournament.
At the case tournament. The Rogues and one. You gave me a profile, but you were tired. We were both tired. Up till 3 in the morning.
Yeah, that was a rough tournament. If you're gonna do a case tournament, start it at like 2 p.m. or 12, not 6:30 at night when there's 55 people in the building. But I played a normal summon Alistair. Worked out pretty good. You know, play Alistair and a bunch of hand traps and a decent amount of starters. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And that's just how it goes. And then with him, I played Ogre, Ash, and then we made Lancia for this tournament. Now it is a local, and I did know a lot of the local meta players, and they play a lot of decks that Lancia affects. I always say this: when you play your deck, the people might see this profile, they see other profiles of other players online, and they try to copy a deck, and then they play it, and then sometimes it doesn't work for them. I play these cards based on a meta call and my choices and the way I play the game, the way I play the deck. So it doesn't always work out for everyone that wants to copy everyone's deck. So, you know, look at this profile, look at other profiles, and like figure out what works best for you. And then 3 Ecclesias, 1 Maximus, and 1 Fleur. I see a lot of people playing 2 of this now. I might try 2 of this. You have to play 3 of this because Servant went to 2. And then Dasher, Celestial. You draw them, you draw them, you don't, you don't. And I drew them my fair share. Drew them for turn. It happens. 1 Invocation. I play 1 because a lot of times you open it and it's a brick. In the top 4 I had it and it was just a brick and I just lost because of it. Called by, you have to play it. It's there. It helps. Terraforming to see Alistair. Meltdown. 2 Fusion Destiny, 2 Servant because they're at 2. Then we decided main Cosmic and Droplets. I'm not playing Prosperity. A lot of people play Prosperity. Prosperity isn't bad, but I like to use every card in my extra deck, and I used every card in my extra deck multiple times. So I like to basically play these over Prosperity. Against Eldritch. Eldritch ended up winning, so I didn't get to play him, but if I did play him, I would have been ready, I guess. Schism, Punishment, and then 3 Impermanents. 40 cards in the main. Side deck was Anti-Spells, Red Reboot for the traps on the side. This is against Mirror Match, Flunders, Adventure Token, all that stuff, because you can... Striker, yes, Striker. You can make DP flip this, they set their spells, blow up their spells, so you just keep them from using their spells. More hand traps on the side. I actually didn't play any decks that this was really good against, so I never sided in. I just still didn't side it in.
You also want to go second in the mirror.
Yeah. And then this is just blowout. Side this and against decks that go in the extra deck. Oh, and more for back row.
How did you feel about this?
This was actually insane.
I know because you had it against Aaron, and it didn't, like, you drew this, but it didn't do anything because his DPE came back.
Right, alright, so I actually played around Scythe. I didn't send Dragon and blow up his back row. I realized what I did. I was supposed to do this, send these two, make Abclone negate his DP, blow up back row, and remove. And if I got hit with Scythe, it didn't matter. But He didn't have scythe.
Because even if you popped it with this, couldn't you have with the chain resolve where this would be?
Yes. Yep. And that was, I guess you could say, misplay there, because I could have like really won, but I wasn't playing around Called by the Grave in a 60 card deck, and it happens. Extra deck, Omega. Omega's ridiculous. I only really did it once in the tournament. I used punishment 3 times in the game. I just kept shuffling it back, adding it, shuffling it back, adding it. I was playing this over Invoked Rage, and this came up like 3 or 4 times. I took 2 Anacondas and a DP, so you have to play that for the package. Anaconda.
Do you find yourself in a situation now where you summon Verde more because you have the DPE package?
Yes. There's times where you'll open an awkward hand where it's like this is your hand. A normal person would just go like normal this and add. You can normal this, make Almarar, Spectral, make Verte, pay 2,000, play this and add Schism to hand and just discard another card and just keep the Schism, and then they have to play through that a little bit, and sometimes you draw another hand trap on top of this, and a lot of times they see an Ash, they're like, oh, he doesn't have another Ash in hand, because they see your hand was awkward. So sometimes it works out like that, and then sometimes it just doesn't. 2 Mechaba, 2 of this comes up all the time, like all the time. This card,
Did you ever make that?
I made this quite a bit. I actually cleared someone's field. I made this with Invocation on summon, popped, and then Destiny Fusioned, and then on summon, because I had Meltdown, on summon a DP, I popped, and then used effect, banish a fusion, and then attack for game. DP, selfish. That card's insane. Best card printed since Engage. I've been saying it forever. The normal Shaddolls, and then this stuff. I mean, just a normal.
This is.
Yes, I made this. We call this lawnmower. I made that quite a few times. Actually, 2 times. I made it. Once against the zombie synchro deck I played. I actually had Red Reboot, so it was just game. Like he ended on the Sharonui synchro, Eldritch, and then he Sanctum for Scythe. I had in perm, and then he had the trap that blows up. Conquistador, and then I had a Red Reboot, and I just ran over his field for game.
So anything you would change? I actually have questions. So anything you would change?
Go ahead. So yesterday I tried at the local. I tried Secret Village instead of this card. That is wrong. This card is infinitely better because the situation came up where I opened 2 Secret Village. And if I was citing this, I would open up 2 of this. So I would have set 1 and made Mechaba. And he evenly matched me, so that means I would have kept the trap card in hand. So I would have negated the evenly, and I would have had anti-spell, and he wouldn't have been able to play the game.
Right.
So I learned really quick. You learn in losing a lot more than you do winning. This card is just better than Secret Village.
Any thoughts on like the Souls Illusion engine? I know because you said you were making DPE a lot, or you were making Verde more now than you were before. Would you try the Souls and Illusion engine?
In this deck?
Yeah.
Well,
because technically you could also send, if you open Nadir, you could send, if you open Souls, Nadir, or Invocation in this case. And I know they both synergize together with each other. I know they were trying that out in the OCG.
I never tried that. I might try that actually, because you could also send Meltdown. After you resolve the Meltdown search, you could send Meltdown to get the extra draw. Even an extra draw, sometimes an extra draw makes all of the difference. Like that one extra card, drawing it. That's why I went down to 40 cards and I added Terraforming. I've been scared of Drolled. If you get Drolled with this deck and your hand loses to Droll, you just lose. So you kind of just have to play the game like that. If they have Droll, they have it. They don't, they don't.
I assume that's why you put like 20 hand traps.
Yes.
I mean, it's a mid-range deck. That's what they generally do. It's traps or hand traps, or both.
Yep.
So any like anything else? Any shout-outs? Anything like that?
Oh, shout-outs to everyone that topped. All the people I played against. It was good games. Like I said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know, with this deck, you really can't make minor misplays because this deck doesn't reward you for making misplays. If you make a misplay when you have momentum in the game, you lose momentum and then your whole entire game just falls apart. And you have to play cards in the right sequence to like deal with boards. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes you have Alistair droplets and you can just win, but sometimes you don't have Alistair droplets and it's hard for you to play through a field.
I think it was the same when you were shoving a bunch of shit all over the deck as well.
Yeah.
The same kind of concept.
But it's evolved into this, and you know, it is what it is. And now when the Albez stuff comes out, we're gonna keep Fusion summoning. That's it.
Thanks, Vince. You have a great day.
Absolutely.